Okay, we are back, and we are going to end this debate once and for all between the iconic, the incumbent, the Hofner Beatle bass of McCartney fame, and Lakland's take on that design, the HB30. Last video we went over the Hofner in depth. This video we're going to go over this one, and we're going to render a verdict. Alright, let's get rid of that 60 cycle hum. These are single coils as opposed to the Hofner's humbuckers. I talked to the guys at Lakland about it, and they said, you know, we know that it would hum when you solo the pickups because every single coil pickup hums. But they thought these sounded better, and they went with these, and I can't complain. The bass sounds excellent. And if you look, this is what happens when you use your instruments a lot, folks. They get grungy and grimy, and it doesn't help that I am a greasy Italian. All right, so what do we got here tone-wise? We got a very, very simple volume for each pickup and a master tone. And the way I typically run this bass when I use it is both pickups up full and the tone knob at about 50%. So I'm just going to do a little lick that kind of hits all the registers of the neck. You know, I'm not here to wow you with my playing. I'm here to show you instruments. So without further ado, again, both pickups on full, tone at 50%. I love that sound. Very, very balanced. Still has enough to punch through a mix, and it just gives you that great Hofner type tone. That's what I usually use it in. So say I'm in a bassier room and I need a little bit more high end. I would run both pickups on full and put the tone up all the way. You know, that's what I would use it. I already told you the scenario I would use that in. I prefer it with the tone rolled off a little bit to give it that little bit of subbiness, but that's a very usable tone in a live setting. So let's roll the tone off all the way. So this is tone at 0, both pickups on full. You know, not my thing, but I could see using it maybe on a recording. Let's start soloing the pickups. Let's do neck pickup soloed with the tone at 0, rolled off all the way. Little flub there, but we're informal, so we're good. You know, I don't really like that tone. But if you want to get that McCartney sound, I know he soloed the neck pickup. I don't know if he rolled the tone off all the way or if he just rolled it off part of the way, but he did use a pick, and this is a felt pick. I'm not much of a pick player, so I'm just going to do the little come together thing real quick just so you can hear it. So I do like that sound. You know, I suck with a pick, so I just need to get better with that, I guess. Let's do neck pickup soloed, tone up at about halfway. Good sound. I like it. You know, I could see that using that on a recording. Let's do neck pickup soloed, tone up all the way. Again, same verdict. I mean, there's not much difference between the tone at 50 and the tone at 100. It's just a little bit more high end. So let's go to the bridge pickup, and we'll do the bridge pickup soloed with the tone rolled off all the way. I don't know what it is, but I really like this sound. I don't know when I would ever use it, because you always got to do what's right for the song, but I just think it's a cool sound. It's different. So let's go bridge pickup soloed, tone at 50%. Great sound. You're getting into that Jocko territory. You could totally, this bass really nails that Jocko sound for a short scale. That's kind of rare, especially a short scale hollow body, but the end of that was nonsense. But we're keeping it. So yeah, you're really getting into that Jocko sound. And then we go up all the way, and this is something that kind of surprised me about this bass is, these are flat wound strings. That's what I like for a hollow body. But typically when you think flat wound, you don't think of like harmonics, and when you think short scale, you don't think harmonics. But this thing does really well with that. I'll play a little ditty for you, using some harmonics just so you can hear how well it does it. So it does that quite well. That really surprised me. So let's get this thing in its least buzzy setting. Talk about the instrument. Those are basic run through of the tones. There's some more options. You can really mess with that tone knob and get a lot out of it. But we'll be here all day. So first thing to look at is this bridge. This is a fully hollow instrument, and what they did was they just varied the thickness around the bridge so that they could get a screw down bridge, Fender style bridge. This is the standard Lakland, which is very similar to a Fender bridge. And man, this is to be able to intonate a hollow body bass. There's not a whole lot, and you can help me out with this. Leave it in the comments, because I can't think of any other fully hollow bass that has this bridge, this type of bridge on it. I think of Reverend. They have a couple semi hollows. The Warwick is a semi-hollow, but I can't think of any other full-on hollow bodies that have that. So that is a huge thing, being able to intonate this thing. It really comes into factor when you are recording. Live, intonation is not as important. It is to me, because I really care about that, but honestly, the average ear isn't going to hear like some minor intonation issues. Now, if it's major, then yeah, for sure. But yeah, being able to intonate this thing is a big deal. The other thing is these tuners. As with all Lakelands, this comes with hip shot tuners. It stays in tune very well. It stays in tune like any other solid body bass that you would have. That's tuning and intonation and stuff. Tuning stability and intonation. That's a huge deal for me. So that they score major points with me personally on that. I think they still use alpha pots like the Hofner does, but I think they're a higher grade. They feel a lot tighter than the Hofners do. And I didn't have to take my cord in to keep it. So better jack. And another thing too, with full hollow body basses, a lot of times, if you need to get to your controls, like, because these pots over time will wear out, and your jack will have issues over time, and it's just basic maintenance. But on a full hollow body with F holes, this will be like, in a lot of companies, they have these holes. I don't know. Yeah, you can see it. And this will be your only access. So getting to your electronics, there'll usually be one on this side, but still getting tools and stuff down there, damn near impossible. They do make tools for it, but it's a hassle. And Lakland, common sense solution, gave you the control plate. Now the Hofner, that is something about the Hofner design that I do like, is they have a similar thing. That's all on that. You just unscrew that and you get to everything. But a lot of other, like the Jack Cassidy's comes to mind. The Jack Cassidy, you have to go through the F-hole, and that's super annoying. Next is the neck. This is basically a jazz bass neck that's shrunken down for the shorter scale, and it just feels like every other bass. Like I could go from my Fender to this thing seamlessly and not have to worry about it. It feels the same. You know, that Hofner feels like a pencil in my hand after playing like a 5-string or whatever. This feels very comfortable. It's also a bolt-on neck. So if you do have neck issues, it's a lot easier. You can take the neck off. This Hofner is a set neck. You can still fix it if you do have some catastrophic issue with the neck, but it's a lot harder. This, you just unscrew it. A huge thing for me. And that's really what the verdict is going to be, is that this is, if we're just talking about this instrument versus that instrument, it's not even close. The Lakland is 10 times the instrument that the Hofner is. Now, we got to factor in price. This is also, these go for $1,088 new, so $1,088 new. That's substantially higher than the $350 for the Hofner. Is this 3 times the instrument? Absolutely. It is absolutely 3 times the instrument that Hofner is. But it gets to be kind of like building a car. It's all about what your application is. If you're like me and you really like the Hofner sound and you want to use it as much as you possibly can, get this one. I can gig this thing every weekend. It's never going to have a problem, other than like basic upkeep. Whereas the Hofner, you know, it's way more finicky. It's not as solidly built as this is. So it's going to have issues the more you use it. Now, if you just want this sound for like acoustic shows and like to use sparingly at home and things like that, then it doesn't make much sense to spend all the money on this one. It makes way more sense to spend the $350 on this one. You know, because you'll still have the little issues with it, but you're not going to be using it as much. So just spend the $350 and use it when you're going to use it. So for me, this made way more sense because I want to use this sound as much as humanly possible. I love this sound, and I think it's really good for like singer-songwriter stuff that I do that I really like, and it's a very low maintenance instrument. I don't have to worry about it at all. But if I was more of a rock guy and I just wanted this for like the occasional thing here and there, I just wanted this sound, I would get the Hofner. So that's my verdict. If you love the Hofner sound and you want to use it a lot, get the Lakland. If you just want to use it sparingly, get the Hofner. Thank you. Please, I welcome being trolled. Tell me what I'm doing wrong with these videos. This is a learning curve for me. So like and subscribe and all that good stuff, and then comment and just thrash me and tell me what I can do better on the next one. Hopefully this one's better than the last one, and the next one's better than this one. So we can only go up from here, kids. So thank you. Subscribe, like, all that stuff, and we'll see you later.